Hello, and welcome to the national chapter of the Daibanchou, Big Bang Age. I'm Audio. This is my glorious channel, and we're starting the national phase in this part. That makes me pretty happy because the first two phases of the game, there's not a whole lot of room to, they're okay, it's your first couple times through, it's fun, but there's literally no room to do anything fancy or fun or out there, that you wanted to try in that phase. It's over in 25 turns and everything is there. It's all very scheduled and what you need to do is obvious. There's no reason to stick around there. This phase of the game has a lot more going on, and I'm sure I've touched maybe only half of the content in it. It's just, you have a 100 turn limit here. It's not really a limit because you're going to get through the stuff before then anyway, but it stops you from being able to complete everything, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, I don't think. It also makes it so that way you can take pretty much any individual and they won't have played the game the same way. It leads you in a certain path, and that's mostly what I'll be sticking to. I'm going to try to take a path that mirrors what most people have done. It's what I did my first time. It just kind of leads you through it, to be honest. And I'll explain myself as we go as well. Obviously, I'll be starting with the, what are they called? Well, that's no good. Tomoka's army. The tanks. I don't remember their name right now. PGG, there we go. That's who I'm starting with. There are several on the map, and the PGG is one of them. The NPI is the largest, and I'll probably go for them last. And then we have the Nightmare Eyes, which is totally retarded sounding. But they're vampires. And then there are other factions too that come out later on. So, but they introduce you to them once you're, within range of declaring war on them or whatever. So, I'll have more to say about each individually as we go. And the game kind of wants you to attack the PGG first. If you sit idle long enough, the PGG declares war on you first, and I think it's around turn 15 or 20. 20 for safety, I'm not really sure, but they declare war on you first automatically. Though it's not really a formal declaration, they just kind of attack you, and it's the same for you to them. It's not like in Sengoku Rants where you've got to negotiate. You can just, oh, we're attacking you now, and you get a benefit for that. It's like a surprise attack, I guess. You're not going to see any of their important commanders in that fight. So, yeah. But this phase of the game is a lot more fun, and there's a lot to do. I said it in an earlier part, I'll say it here as well, because it's kind of a big deal. If you've got units you want me to obtain, I'll do it. Just let me know. Some of them, though, like Ninja Captor, probably not going to go through the bullshit I've got to keep her around. I've already mentioned something about Von Dane, and I'll probably go for him, even though I haven't in the past, so that'll be interesting. And I saw a request for Sparn, so I'll probably go for Sparn as opposed to the two elves that you can get. Sparn's a douchebag. The elves are kind of not really good units. I mean, they're okay for defense, but one of them always wants to be stationed. Well, one of them's not an elf, but one of them wants to be stationed with the elf at all times, and the elf can only go in 2 regions. So that's how that is. Like I said before, you can pick Senna for this. I mean, it feels weird, but I guess I'll do it just for the sake of having something new for you guys to see. And this is the only time you can H her in Kunagi's route, and it's just so awkward. I mentioned it in the last part, but it's just so awkward to do this because I know what's going to happen to her. The first time I didn't, it was like, oh, cool, Senna's here. Cool, I guess. I don't know. So I clicked it. It was new. I was excited. And then a turn later, she was gone. And I was like, let me reload my game. Maybe I fucked up. So I reloaded the game twice, like a jackass. instead of reading on the wiki what happened. And, you know, whatever, you know, it's whatever. That's how blind I usually play these games on my first go through. And that's probably why I lost this game like 6 times the first time I tried. Oh, jeez. But, yeah, Senna, she looks really different in her H scenes. Maybe she's missing her headband or something, which, you know, I wouldn't wear a headband when I was H'ing with people, but, you know, so I can understand that she wouldn't, but, she just looks weird. When I said in the district chapter, she's kind of derpy sometimes in her scenes. She's more derpy looking than usual. I don't know what I mean by that. She just doesn't look like she's on the ball. But whatever. And, you know, her benefit is to heal Roga, just like Kunagi's. So, if Roga were wounded right now, he'd be getting healed. But that's an impossibility. So, yeah. And, well, I'll just wait until we move on here. But Senna's story, she should be leaving soon here. And there's a lot to talk about with her. And I haven't decided how I'm going to go about these things. I probably won't play through the game again on YouTube, by any means, because there aren't enough differences, but between Senna and Kunagi's route. And I still want to be able to include a lot of the stuff that happens in Senna's route on here. I mean, 2 of my favorite parts in the entire game only happen in Senna's route, and I like them more than anything else. So I'd like to show them off somehow. I'm just deciding about how to do that. Perhaps I'll have a part where it shows what happens to Senna in Kunagi's route, and in that same video I'll have footage of what happens to Kunagi and Senna's route. I'm not sure. Or maybe I could just make a series of videos after the Let's Play featuring what occurs in Senna's route. I think that's what I'll probably do. It's easier for me to do that, so I think that's what I'll do. But yeah, this should be moving along here. And Senna's first H scene is just like a pinup, I guess you'd call it. It's just her. It's just her there. Roga's not doing anything. And it's nearly safe for YouTube, but it screws me just a little bit. So I'll skip that. And whatever. But yeah, well, I shouldn't say it's her first one, you know. She has 2 scenes in her first thing. One of them is the picture of just her sitting there, and then it's her with Roga. So, you know. 1 prisoner. Oh, it's Ren. Fantastic. You've got to try to recruit this guy a couple times, and his loyalty is bad. Pretty much throughout the game, but that's to be expected. I'll fully explain loyalty as soon as we go to the unit screen. Because it's very relevant now, and it's going to be something that's always on your mind as you're playing. It seems really tedious to deal with at first, and it becomes even more tedious looking once you've gotten a lot of troops, but there are ways to make it less awful, and Ren actually provides one of those a little bit. Which I'll cover when I'm using him in combat. But it's mostly luck related, so it's not something you can count on. Yeah. Nothing notable to report, Go. We didn't just move up, you know, to the national stage. But you get a new overworld theme, and you know, I've got to say it right now. All the music and things that sit in this part of the game, I like a lot more. I feel much warmer now, I guess. This is what I've been looking forward to the entire time. You know, it shows the star events here as well. There's more going on. I need to see what items I have as well. Alright, nothing changed. Some things well, there is like a set priority list. You need to do certain things before everything else. One of them would be visiting Hani Engineering. You want to do that right away. It's not like you don't do it, you get a game over, but it's really, really important. Actually, you might get a game over. Yeah, you do get a game over if you don't do that. So, it's the second visit. You don't have to go on the second visit to Honey Engineering, but you got to take the first so you can make buildings. Kind of a big deal. And a lot of the buildings in this game aren't super useful. I mean, actually, I think I just build one building all the time. Because, you know, I'll explain it when we get it. There's a lot to explain in this phase, and I don't want to get too far ahead, but go to Honey Engineering. My god. I didn't do it. That was the first, that was, that was my first big game over, you know? I was like, I'd like to fight people. I'd like to go on a date with Kunagi. What's Honey Engineering? Fuck it. So, I couldn't build anything, and by turn 15, I was done. Something like that. That wasn't good. But, you've got to go here. You meet some girl. She's got a unique CG. Go's interested in her, I suppose. I don't know. Go doesn't really express too many things like that, but I'm guessing he's somewhat similar to his brother. Just not, you know, he doesn't have a harem or anything. So. But, yeah. She comes in here. I don't even know what they talk about, but she allows you to construct buildings. Yeah, and, well, obviously you could see there that a star event had appeared not bordering my territory. So you can activate those anywhere. Pretty much. Along with other story elements. There are other territories in the map that have, like, little things in there that I can click on that aren't highlighted with a star, but I can still do it, you know? And that's actually kind of why you want to have the cube, because, you know, that you're given at the very beginning of the game on the rooftop. If you don't get it, you're going to be, you know, if you're playing the game totally blind, you're not going to do well. Oh, boy. I don't even know how that star thing works. I thought, like, my initial thinking when I obtained it, I thought it was like a gift given to me by the translators because they know that everybody who plays this game isn't going to know what the fuck to do, but I don't think that that's how it works, you know? So. Anyway, this goes on, and they just kind of talk. I don't know why she's choosing to help Roga. She might know Go. Go knows a lot of people, you guys. He's that older brother trump card. Something's wrong in the game. Oh, Go knows that guy. Go has been friends with him for life. Let's talk it out. Oh, someone big's about to declare war on us. Go created that group. Don't worry about it. Go knows how it's done, so you're kind of safe from a lot of the bullshit that can happen to you. Unless you inflict it all on your own, which can happen a lot of ways. I'm gonna warn you about all of that, though, because, I mean, it's astonishing how many times you can just get screwed in this game. Whatever. Yeah, but this, I mean, honestly, this scene isn't really important. The first time that you play it, I mean, you could skip it. I didn't, but it's just not meaningful. Like, that girl, she's not really relevant. She seems like she might be more important, but she just kind of authorizes you to build shit, and that's all. So. There you go. It is not possible to construct buildings. So important. Alright, I'll explain loyalty here. These hearts were here, like Roga's is a large blue heart. These hearts were all here in the other phases of the game, but they were different and they didn't do anything. The bar right next to the heart is the loyalty meter. It changes color as it decreases. You want them to always be yellow, pretty much, or green, obviously. But all the people with big blue hearts, their loyalty won't decrease. Green hearts, the loyalty decreases really slowly. And yellow, it's pretty noticeable. And when the heart's a little tiny pink one, their loyalty decreases super fast. And that sucks. Because there are only a couple ways to improve loyalty. You can't ever increase it. if their loyalty is failing, you speak to them. They get a very minor loyalty boost. And then you can also pay them to max their loyalty back out. And that's what I'll end up doing later on in the game, because it's not very expensive. And it's the only way to, like, survive. It's just, when you have 10 people in the yellow loyalty and three more in red, you've got to start buying them off every turn. And it starts to get really fucking stupid, because you can't talk to people that you're interested in. You just have to talk to people whose loyalty is dropping. And I hate that. I really hate that. But there are a couple ways to circumvent that. One of them is to go to Hawaii. Not joking. Further explanation in another video. Another one is to H one of the heroines. Her name is Xian, and you can H her. She's the little magical girl. And she increases loyalty of everybody in your army. So that, in my opinion, is by far the best one. By far the best heroine option because of that. Though there is one that yields 500 BP, so that's pretty good too. But those are both late game heroines, pretty much. I mean, Xian, you can get her earlier, but it's whatever. I didn't talk about Aya at all because there's nothing much to say. And then you deploy people. You start out with BP, so unlike the district phase, you can go right into attacking, and you can believe I'm going to do that. Go advises you to take this territory, Yokohama, and you definitely do that right away, because it has a lot more money available. Tokyo has a lot as well, but, you know, I'll station Go there. And Go's ability, Explorer, kind of comes in handy here as well. He gives you money in Tokyo, and what you want to do is move Go around to all the new territories that you take, because he'll find items, he'll find buildings, he'll give you money, just stupid shit that he finds. I don't know what he does, but that's how it works, so you know about that. And now I'm kind of at an impasse. I can try to keep all of my units equal, or I can just take the best ones and keep making them better, and I'm probably going to do that now. I want to keep Heita strong as well, because I like him. Heita's cool. Daigo's gonna go, Mario's gonna go, Senna's not gonna do anything because she's gone soon here. And I guess Sane can go, because she really quickly falls to the wayside, at least for me. As much as I'd like to keep her going, I just fail to do that. And Aya, you want to always have her on the map somewhere, because she's good at increasing... Oh god, I think it's income. I think she increases income or law, I don't know which. Apologies, let me look at her profile. Honor student, I think that's income. So, alright, and then you know, I've got my people deployed. You can deploy more if you want, but you don't really need to. It's overextending yourself. And then you attack. And this is just some random thing, you know? It's just another random academy. Not really, you know, not important. So, and on the map, of course, it showed oranges are independence. That hasn't changed from the beginning of the game. When schoolrooms were independent, to the district phase, when, you know, I guess, districts were independent. It's all orange, and it's like that here as well. But, my favorite thing about this phase of the game is the battle music change, and it's just an extension of the original theme in the other battles, but it like kicks off much better, and I love it. I love the music. Why do Alicesoft games have such good battle themes? It's just unbelievable. But it's like it encourages you to keep fighting. It does for me. You could live on this music. You don't even know. But these are easy fights. All of the independents are easy fights. You just want to make sure how far north you go. Actually, I'll just wait and I'll show you on the map. And yes, you can see the mambo fish, the head fish, I guess. They're in this game as well, and you can recruit them. And they attack in this game the same way they did in Sengoku Ranch. They poop at you or lay eggs at you. Yeah. I don't really get it. But of course you know that Hanis are in the game, so are those fish. Ah, you hear that? It's refreshing. It's like a ice cold wind just smacks you in the face and you love it. I love it. This is the Bancho, or one of them, and I'm just gonna, you know, blow through it. Daigo, yes! He's so cool. Alright, another one of these guys, cool. I'm taking out the mid-range units with Kunagi because I don't really have anything else more reliable, and she's capable. Now this is gonna piss me off because I wanted to kill the Corgi with Heita, but there we go. See, I didn't know if it was gonna be the panda, and you know, you can capture the pandas and recruit them. It's just that they can't do anything. So, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to kill it. And there we go. That worked out pretty well. And another thing that you want to do, I didn't do it with Roga and Kunagi. I used them both twice. If you can, you want to use all 6 of your people once, you know, so that way the next turn all their stamina's back. And it helps you keep moving around. So it's a good idea to do that. It's just kind of tricky. Sometimes. And you know, it's not like it's a thing you have to do. The game doesn't count on you to do that. It's just helpful when you can. You should keep an eye on it. But we're being introduced a little bit to the Pyujijiu. I don't know how Japanese people say it. I'm sorry. But this is, well, let me explain the relationship. That Murata guy, who it showed very briefly, is more or less the leader of the faction, but Ginjo Tomoka is the president. Like, she's the unit you can obtain. I'll explain how to obtain her later. This Kirihara guy, he's not really important. He drives a tank, and he's one of the stronger units in the PGG. You can capture him. I won't make it a priority, but if he's available, whatever. A lot of the characters' relationships in the PGG aren't important. Like, I guess I should call him Takeshi, but he doesn't really have any dialogue sequences other than this one. And like when he's attacking, he's not really an important character. It's mostly Tomoka and Murata. Those two are the important people in the PGG. And Murata's not even an obtainable unit. He's just a story thing. So that's how that goes. The Arabian war tribes, you know, when I saw that I was like, why do they have Arabians in a highly, you know, well, it's not that they're Arabian, it's that they walk around with swords. Why do they have those guys in an army that's using tanks? But all of the factions in this game are basically composed of smaller factions. You know, that's what you are. And one of the factions the PGG has is Totori, and well, that's the place, but they're all like Egyptian, and they're ruled over by someone called Queen Cleo. But they'll be introducing all of those things when I attack the PGG, which should be in a couple parts. It shouldn't be too long. Yeah, but it's interesting. I like fighting the PGG. Also, Tomoka has some H scenes. She has 2. One of them is with Murata, one of them is with Roga. And I like Tomoka. She's one of my favorite characters in the game, to be honest. It's just that, I don't know. I gotta organize my thoughts about her, and then I'll talk about her more later on. This is a longer part, as you can see, since we're just breaking into this phase of the game. I'm gonna let it go on as long as it does, but I mean, that could be a problem. Oh well. But yeah, like I said, this guy's not really relevant after these first bits of dialogue. Thought I was gonna sneeze, but I did not. I really can't explain anything more about this until we go to the map or they show us more characters, you know, or it's just leaving everybody in the dark about it. I guess that guy there is their generic unit, and you want to capture one of those ASAP. You need one. They're long range and they've got fairly low health, so it's not easy to do, but you pretty much, like, it's super high priority to capture one of those guys. which again I'll go over when it's more relevant. Yeah, but I mean the game wants you to attack the PGG. They want you to do that. That's why they're throwing you at them. And that bit of dialogue there, of course, wouldn't have appeared if I didn't possess Aya, you know, which is actually quite interesting. I hadn't noticed it before. Well, because on alternate playthroughs, I would skip most of the dialogue that I had read, and that's one of them. You know, I would skip that dialogue about Aya because I had read all the dialogue around it. But I appreciate that stuff a lot. Yes, I do. But this guy, Tomoka's the leader. He just kind of controls her, you know? And everybody around is passive and they're all shitty human beings, so they all just watch it happen. But there should be more about that later on, and yeah, it's weird. It's very, very weird. So also, the Arabian War tribes, you won't fight them immediately when you attack the PGG. They show up a little after. Sometimes they attack you. But, oh, and the tanks that the PGG has. The PGG is the only group in the game that has the tanks. So, dealing with them isn't really that hard. And, they actually throw a few ways for you to cheat them into the game. One of which is with a unit, and I had forgotten about her. I think somebody requested that I obtain her as well, so I will, but it changes up my pacing. I'll have to do something else first. So, that's how that is, and thank God it's not introducing them all at once now, because it would be such a problem. This part's already going to be a half an hour long. Maybe that's overdoing it. Oh, well. But Kashin's here again, and you know, you'll see bits of him wandering around doing shit. He's like a mercenary, kind of. I mean, he's just weird. Like he's unreasonably cruel and mischievous. You know, he doesn't have any reason to do all these things to the people that he does. He just does because he can. I don't know. But, he can use magic, and he's related to Senna, as I've stated. So, you know. Even what he's doing now isn't actually related to any important story events in Senna's route. Like, he's just fucking around. He's not, like, it's just flaunting him at you. Hey, Kashin's still around. He's still here. He's important, guys. Is he important yet? That's what they're doing. I don't know. But, yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about him. He's just there. I like his character design. I don't think I mentioned that before, but I do. And pretty much that's what his role in the game is for Kunagi's route. He fucks with students, and you get these weird stories. That's it. So, yeah. But that student he was harassing, I guess, or whatever, is the standard NPI student. All of the places have their own students, which might be an obvious thing, might not be. I'll see you guys in the next part.
これで日本じゃ一番だな。これからが本番ですよ。